This year's conference, theme Performance-Oriented Training and Trend in Contemporary Operating Environment, was carefully chosen to reflect the dynamics and complex realities we face across the spectrum of operation. It is a call to action and a reminder that our training effort must not only be rigorous and doctrinally sound, but also innovative, mission-focused, and result-driven.
The Nigeria Defense Minister, Badara Abubakar, has commended the effort of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, and the Defense Headquarters in organizing the 2025 Defense Training Conference. The conference aims to equip service personnel with the necessary skills and adaptability to excel in today's complex battle space.
Let me first commend the Chief of Defense Staff and the entire Defense Headquarters for organizing this all-important event and for extending this privileged invitation to me. I am also pleased to acknowledge the collective presence of stakeholders from across the defense security spectrum, whose contribution continue to shape the future of our armed forces.
Abubakar, the special guest of honor, noted that the theme Performance-Oriented Training and Trends in the Contemporary Operating Environment is apt and timely, considering Nigeria's current security landscape, and it resolutes deeply with the national security imperatives of our time.
The theme of this year's conference, Performance-Oriented Training and Trends in Contemporary Operating Environment, is apt and timely, considering the current Nigerian security landscape. This resonates deeply with the national security imperatives of our time. We are in an era where threats to national security are no longer confined to traditional state actors or conventional battlefield engagements. Instead, we are increasingly faced with asymmetric threats, hybrid warfare, cyber aggression, terrorism, insurgency, transnational organized crime, and other non-traditional challenges that demand more than just tactical responses. To address those threats effectively, the armed forces of Nigeria must adopt forward-looking strategies, grounded in rigorous training, interagency collaboration, and real-time adaptation to new doctrines and technologies. The success of any military institution depends not just on the caliber of its personnel or the sophistication of its equipment, but on the quality, relevance, and sustainability of its training level. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we must confront a pertinent and fundamental question. How can we ensure that our armed forces is more proactive and anticipatory in the face of rapidly evolving security threats? The answer lies in strategic investment in performance-oriented training that prioritize outcomes, simulate real-world complexities, and align closely with the current and future operational realities.
Earlier in his remarks, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Gwabi Musa, noted that the annual conference aims to standardize and enhance training mandates across the services.
Looking at our contemporary operating environment, it's evident that the threats we face are increasingly complex, asymmetrical, and technologically driven. These threats range from the persistent scourge of insurgency and terrorism to the rise of cyber warfare, hybrid threats, and proliferation of advanced weaponry. We are also witnessing a rapid integration of artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, advanced surveillance technologies, and sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities into modern warfare. I'm sure all of us can reflect that a few years ago, nobody ever wondered that the system is going to change the way it has changed so drastically within a very short time. And that's why it's critical and it's important that we must move in line with changing technologies, changing times, changing contemporary challenges. The enemy we are dealing with is someone who has nothing to lose. He believes if he dies, it's game for him. And that is one we have to be able to prepare our troops to understand the nature of the enemy and the threats they are facing. This trend necessitated a fundamental shift in how we approach training, ensuring our personnel are not just prepared for yesterday's battle, but are agile and adaptive enough to thrive in tomorrow's dynamic environment. This is precisely where performance-oriented training becomes imperative. It moves beyond mere theoretical knowledge and focuses on developing tangible skills and competencies that directly translate to operational effectiveness. I've always wondered, are we training hard enough? If our men do not understand the dynamics of modern warfare, we will continue to suffer. And it's in line with that that we will see that it's important that we harmonize our training, enhance jointness, and prepare our men for the threats ahead.
The keynote speaker, General Loki Rabo, delivered a strategic lecture on innovative training approaches to mitigate emerging security challenges in Nigeria, the Nigerian Armed Forces in perspective.
In Nigeria, the increasing frequency of insurgency, cyber attacks, and terrorism demands a more strategic, innovative approach to training military personnel. As these emerging security challenges intensify, the need for innovative training approaches becomes very paramount. Without the ability to continuously evolve and adapt their training methods, the armed forces risk falling behind in the battle to effectively safeguard national security and counter these growing threats. Without innovative training, military personnel lack the cognitive flexibility, technical skills, and doctrinal support to respond effectively to complex threats. This results in reduced operational efficiency, increased vulnerability to enemy tactics, and diminished national defense capability. Therefore, there is a positive and significant relationship between innovative training approaches and the ability of our forces to manage and mitigate emerging security challenges. In the current dispensation, the current regime, the CDS can play that role. Now, next is institution of regular joint defense exercises program. Now, in the light of the current threat regime, the place of innovative joint exercises for the armed forces cannot be overemphasized. While the operational demands have taken huge toll on field exercises in the armed forces, their benefits underscore the need for a creative approach to conducting periodic training exercises at all costs. Drones have revolutionized military training, given their versatile applications. Under various scenarios, unmanned area platforms can undertake surveillance and reconnaissance, thereby making them indispensable tools that offer tactical advantage during training exercises. In this wise, the use of drones, simulators, artificial intelligence, and other virtual reality tools to augment the needs is very crucial. These tools enable the simulation of high-threat combat zones, urban warfare environments, and irregular battlefield conditions without the financial and logistic burden of full-scale exercises, meaning that if we're able to improve on what obtains now at the Nigerian Army Simulation Center, and of course other places that we have, then we can still carry out joint exercises and training without necessarily going to the field. Even though going to the field, for live shows and for live actions, remains the ultimate. But in the light of the limitations imputed by resources, I'm saying that this is a good starting point, and I think that's something that we can do.
Spy TV News reports that the inaugural Defense Training Conference of the Armed Forces of Nigeria is ideal given the current security challenges in the country that require personnel to be resilient, cohesive, and innovative, and it is a critical part of military shared commitment to building a professional and combat-ready force that is well equipped to navigate the evolving operational landscape. Olayemi Eson, for Spy TV.